Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat. I just kind of want to make a quick update video today. As you might have heard, the Funimation has finished dubbing episodes 87 and 88 of My Hero Academia. These are the last two episodes of season 4. And as an interesting note, these are the last two episodes of the season. And if you were watching Toonami last night, you didn't see any of them. In fact, the episode you saw was the One for All episode back in season 3. And I just kind of wanted to say something kind of briefly to kind of help explain some stuff because episode 87 was announced like 3-4 days beforehand. I believe the Wednesday before that few days before that, the episode had been completed. And I think that's just very interesting because usually, like, if you followed Toonami, you'll know that I believe it was the Wednesday before episode 87 was normally supposed to air. That's when they made an announcement that, hey, we're going to go on a 3-week rerun cycle. We're going to start with a gentle criminal fight again because who hasn't seen that one 20 million times? I think it's like the third time they aired that fight in like 6 weeks. That's impressive, really. And I mean, and they're like, okay, so Wednesday was the day we would usually get these announcements of, we're not going to get it now, we're not going to get it now. And I believe also it was the Wednesday before the next new episode, JoJo wins announcement, oh, by the way, JoJo isn't happening, we're actually going to get Ball Masters now. And by the way, they actually officially released the ratings from that week. And I mentioned, like, if you followed my ratings video, I mentioned that they had this weird glitch where they said that the episode at 2:30 was shipping in at 3 o'clock. At 2 o'clock was shipping in at 3 o'clock. At 2:30, I mean, was Jumaseto Machu Picchu. They've corrected it, and it found out that the episodes of Ball Masters had a .12 and a .13, with Shippuden getting a .13 afterwards. So Ball Masters is looking pretty weak. I mean, it got built on by Shippuden at the end of the block, which shows that Ball Masters isn't really a draw, and in fact, there's a good number of people who are tuning out for Ball Masters, but then tuning back in for Shippuden, which should be a troubling sign, especially if this wait with JoJo is going to last a while. But what I want to get back to is something I've been hammering in the last few weeks is that Toonami is being probably pretty much screwed over in their deal with Funimation, and that's pretty obvious here. Because like I said, most of these streaming contracts have a right to first air clause in it, basically saying that Toonami can't air it until Funimation airs it. And since last Wednesday, and since, like I said, Funimation likes airing their new stuff on Sundays, and since the next Sunday was after the next Saturday, that meant that Toonami couldn't air it on Saturday night, which was last night. So that is why we had a rerun episode instead of episode 87, even though episode 87 was well prepared by then. And I don't think they've officially announced it, but I can guarantee you episode 87 will be airing this next Saturday, the 20th, and that episode 88, the season 4 finale, be airing on June 27th. So that just kind of delays until the next weekend any decision about what to do with My Hero Academia spot permanently. And I think what they'll do is that they'll buy themselves one more week of time because that weekend, actually that Saturday is right on July 4th, Independence Day, so they'll probably find some excuse to rerun something. They'll probably do like a knowing them, they're going to rerun the gentle criminal fight one more time, as if we haven't had it on the block like 3-4 times already. And they'll buy another week, so that July 11th will probably be the week where they'll have to have something in place for that slot in the block. And ultimately, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. My prediction, and something a lot of people I think are catching on to, is they're probably just going to rerun My Hero Academia, whether they start from season 4, whether they start from the very beginning, whether it's going to be at the start of the block, whether it's going to be later in the block. That's still to be decided, and that's a bit more variable. But considering that Toonami is on a money crunch right now, they don't really have any money right now, and what money they do have, they're pouring into trying to hurry up Uzumaki so that they can fulfill their promise of getting out by 2020, which, like I've said before, is looking more and more doubtful by the day. But ultimately, and it's going to be either My Hero Academia being rerun or like maybe something in the catalog. I mean, we're way overdue for Cowboy Bebop being overrun in the block again. And some other stuff they have in their catalog is the 2 Fully Cooley sequels. I believe they can actually still air Attack on Titan reruns. That's kind of surprising they hadn't aired them because Attack on Titan definitely always attracts an audience. And it's usually the type of thing that they would really want to throw up there. And other than that, you got some other, I think they got some other like smaller, older anime in their catalog. I forgot which ones they currently have. I know they just lost the rights to Promised Neverland, or they're about to lose them to Funimation, because Funimation also now is starting to get the rights to, probably going to also get the rights to first air of Promised Neverland, which is really, that's what's going to happen. And this is if Toonami even exists in 2021. What you're going to get is a scenario where they'll have to wait until after Promised Neverland airs on Funimation now. And that's particularly bad, considering more than any other show, Promised Neverland is one of those anime that absolutely has to be watched in order. And it's one that's very built on suspense and intrigue, and that's not really good for repeated watchability. They're gonna have a lot of people who subscribe to Funimation now, who are gonna watch it on Funimation now and be like, "Well, I already know what happens. Why would I watch it on Toonami?" And again, and that's just the type of deal that Toonami's in right now. And that's probably part of the reason why Toonami is increasingly trying to develop their own shows, albeit with very mixed success. Like, for example, you have the two Fooly Cooly sequels, which kind of flopped. I'm not saying we're like complete bombs. They just definitely didn't pull in the money that Toonami, that William Street invested in it. But then again, they did invest a lot of money on Space Dandy, which is a cult hit, which is also another show they have the rights to. They could put in Space Dandy if they want to, and I think there would be a pretty positive response to that, you know. It's a very well-loved show. I love it, and I know a lot of people also love it too. So it'll be an interesting thing, and I decided to make this video today because Toonami is kind of still in this weird crossroads. You have you have this one little bit of good news where you get new My Hero Academia for the next 2 weeks, but then when you get into July, you're gonna have to start facing some serious questions. And I believe Black Clover were only like 4 episodes behind, and you have Funimation making an episode every 2-3 weeks at this rate, which means that you're gonna eventually catch up. And even still, Japan, I think, has still stopped production at episode 132. So even if Funimation keeps up the dubs, by sometime in August or maybe September, they're going to have to decide what to do with that slot as well, especially if dubbing studios remain kind of shuttered here in the United States. And other than that, you still have the thing with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We've had no announcements on how the dubbing is going now. And that's a slot that a lot of people are starting to miss already, because you'll be like, oh, JoJo really wasn't pulling that good ratings. Then you throw in Ball Masters, which Ball Masters is a guaranteed build on each week, you know, and that's just something you don't want to see in the block, even that late at night. And really, like I said, the only consistency they have in the block right now is they could just throw shipping in at 2:30 for the next 4 years and you'd be fine. I think last night they aired episode 300, so there's 200 more episodes to go. So that's almost, well, it's going to be 4 years if you include marathons and stuff to go. That's going to go into like mid to late 2024, and that's even if Toonami exists by then, you know. And other than that, I mean, you just have all these moving slots. Mob Psycho's halfway through its run. Paranoia Agent's halfway through its run. So that's like in 5-6 weeks. That means by sometime in like early August, you're going to have to figure something out with that too, you know. And with dubbing studios closed, you're kind of screwed. And like I mentioned, also, I tweeted this about a week or so ago. You had the announcement from Japan that the last bit of Sword Art Online Alicization War of the Underworld is going to be completed on time for a July 11th air date, you know. But at the same time, I mean, it's just like the thing. Dubbing studios are closed, so it's not like that can be dubbed and put on Toonami or anything, you know. So that's just something kind of sad, especially considering if you look back and realize the only English anime, only dub premiere that Toonami has had this year is Alicization War of the Underworld. So by default, it's the best and worst anime Toonami's gotten this year. So that's gonna be interesting at the end of the year with how few new anime we're gonna get. That it's gonna be like, what's your favorite anime? Well, you're gonna have to pick Sword Art Online, you know. Which, to give credit, Alicization, War of the Underworld Alicization is something of an improvement from what Sword Art Online's done in the past. It really feels like, to a degree, it's kind of learned from its mistakes. And I'm actually kind of excited to see how the last 12 episodes are going to go. You know, and that's something you don't really get to say that often. At least I don't get to say that often about Sword Art Online. But nonetheless, I hope you liked today's little rant. Really not much content has come through the last few days. I decided to kind of give you an update to let you know I'm still alive, you know. And especially since my backyard baseball videos are hitting like weird issues with recording. Like I mentioned that earlier today too, and I tried doing it again and it also failed, you know. But again, what do you guys think? What's your opinion on Toonami right now? Leave your opinions, leave your comments down below. I appreciate your support. I am Super Orange Cat, and that is all.